And then we can get on and you guys can do some of your power hour or whatever it is that you need to do. But at least we'll have something to put up for the recording for those that I know said couldn't make it so they can watch it. So, okay, the first thing I want to talk about a little bit is your system or your tracker. So we know that most of us aren't using Teamzy. I know we were using that because it was really good. Something that I was thinking about today is that, with Teamzy, I felt like, and we've talked about this, but it was like a list and you had to go by the list that they gave you. Not that you had to, but you did. That was the system of it. And sometimes I don't feel like you can run this business in the list form. Sometimes there's just heartfelt, people come to your mind. Maybe you've been talking to somebody or maybe they've been on your mind or your heart. And so you want to reach out to them. And you don't always want to follow a list. And I'll be honest, I haven't done lists that much. In the 2.5 years I've been doing this, I've not done a ton of lists. I've wrote things down. I've used Go for No's, but it's been very super simple. And a lot of times I just go with the invite when I see someone's post on Facebook. Maybe I saw something about how they quit smoking or they lost 5 or 10 pounds and they were making a big deal about it on Facebook because it is a big deal. So maybe that's when I decided to reach out to them and congratulate them and start the conversation up and that sort of thing. So we don't always have to follow this strict list. Even though I know we're always use a tracker and use a list and whatever. Did you guys see the 2 different tracking systems I put in the, I don't know, you probably didn't, Tammy, because I think I posted them in ours, but one of them is called Empower Hour. And I want to see really quick if I can share my screen just to go over this because the people who are on for the recording, I think that it'll be good for them to see. So you guys can see my screen. Is that correct? Can you guys see that? Okay, good. Okay, so really quick, I want to show you the 2 different things, and I have a million messages going here. I want to show you the 2 different things that I posted in our team page because I think they're really, really helpful, and they're a little more detailed than the Go for No. Okay, let's see. Jamie said she's not going to be on. She thought the call was at 8:30. So anyway, so she said she loves you all. That's what she wanted me to tell you. Okay, so the Empower Hour, this came from Christina, and this came from some diamond. I'm not sure exactly where this came from, but it's really good. And I'm sorry it's taking me forever to find this. I thought it would be easier than this. And the other one I want to show you is the new business activity tracker, which is a little bit more detailed. Gosh dang it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the new business activity tracker. I like this one because it's really going to show us, it's really going to narrow down more what we're doing, what workout we're doing, our personal development. And I like the check boxes. I like the way it's laid out versus the other one. I felt like the other one was really sort of overwhelming. Seems like there was quite a bit more small print on the other one. So this is the updated, new and improved one. So print this off and use it. If this helps you, because it literally is going to tell you to make 3 posts, start 3 conversations. I mean, to me, you don't get any more accountable than working off of something like this because it's literally telling you what to do and it's very reachable goals. It's not like it's telling you to do something that is just totally ridiculous for the day. I mean, we can all pretty much recognize the success of 3 people. I mean, that could be in a message, that could be in our group, that could just be congratulating for someone in our group with a comment. That doesn't necessarily have to be with a post, I don't think. So I think we can all reach that goal per day. And I think that would really help us because then you could print it out each week and use it. So if you like that one, print it out. I think it's awesome. The other thing is this Empower Hour, which I put in here too, and this would be awesome to print. It does take a little bit of ink because it's colored unless you just print in black and white. If this will load. But I like this because it's the same thing. This is for 7 days and you would have to print it off each week, but it's nice because it's just really laid out. You can write your thoughts, your list, you could do your grocery list, maybe your meal plan on this as well. Weekly notes and ideas, and then top goals and all that stuff. You can see that. Um, I think this will be super helpful for us all. If you wanted to do this and you're more of a pen and paper list and you really you like to write and you like to keep, all the people's names down and stuff, I think that this will really help you. It talks about the National Wake Up Call, your calendar of events, like what are you going to promote for, what's coming up, what do you need to promote for, scheduling your post, maybe just pre-posting and thinking about some thoughts that you could post about. Check your Coach Online office, recognizing coaches, that sort of thing. So this is pretty self-explanatory. And then here's your week at a glance. So Monday, you could literally write down, like maybe Monday, you want to write down what you're going to do that day. Like what's 3 things maybe you want to accomplish that day. And then same thing. And you can just track all this stuff and it's super nice. I think the other one, if you're just more simple, this is a little bit more like not advanced, but it's just a little bit more, there's more to it. So if you're simpler, more simple or whatever, however you say that. If you just want to simplify it, then maybe use the business activity tracker that I just showed you guys. So either way, print it off and figure out what works for you, because whatever works for one of us doesn't work for the other. And so here you can see that this goes in more in depth. Like here's Mondays and here's, this really goes like here's Tuesday. This is a lot. But I think it's really cool. Again, if you're like Jamie Simpson would like this would speak to her because she really likes, detailed stuff like this. So check that out and see if that's something you guys would. I'm going to stop the share because we don't need to share anymore. Okay. So that's that. Make sure you're using a system. It's super important. You've got to just you want to have a list, but you also want to, and the next thing I want to talk about is have your heartfelt list. So I want you guys to write down. Right now, this isn't part of what I posted about for the call, but I want you to write down 5 people that you like, that just not necessarily 5, but write down a short list of people that you feel like they're on your heart, they're on your mind. Maybe you've been talking to them. Maybe you've been thinking about reaching out to them. Maybe you saw some posts and you've been thinking, I really need to reach out to them because blah, blah, blah. Write that down, because I think, today, I was talking to Jessica a little bit and I talked to Lindsay a little bit and I talked to even Jamie, and, I have always hit Success Club 10 every month. And right now I'm at 8, which is fine, which is great. 8's perfect. But it's my goal. And when I set a goal, like I work really hard to go for it. But sometimes if we don't remember the things that, the reason why we're doing it necessarily, or maybe I was too focused on the goal and then I'm forgetting what is going to get me to that goal. And it's not being stressed and rushing and trying to message as many people as I can because, I need 2 more points, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter if I hit Success Club 8 or Success Club 10. Who cares? It's really not going to make a difference in my business. I'm still reaching out, but we want to make sure that and I forget this sometimes. And I was reminded today because I'm like, why are you focusing on that? Because that does not matter. Because I have, we have a super successful challenge group, and I've invited a ton, and I've shared and I've posted and I've, done a lot of things. So you have to remember the things that you're doing and not get hung up on, even though we want to set goals and we want to reach them, but not getting hung up on, hitting that goal, because sometimes we don't hit the goals that we want to hit, just because whatever happens, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And that doesn't mean you didn't try harder. That doesn't mean you didn't put it out there or do your best. So anyways, I had to remember that, I need to think about the quality conversation. So am I having quality conversations with people, or am I just, sending the invite and thinking about, okay, they said no and blah, now I'm feeling discouraged and now I'm going to try to find another invite. And if you think about it that way, it just makes it not fun, and it makes you stress about it, and it makes you not want to do it. So we have to remember that, if you can lead with your heart, and I always say that, but it's so true, and really just have quality conversations and not worry about maybe necessarily the amount of conversations. And we always talk about the amount, because you do need to be talking to people, and you do need to keep so many people in your circle, or you will run out. And that's something that I found lately for me. I don't think I have been reaching out to enough new people and trying to start enough new conversations. So I'm finding that I'm having to, I'm going to have to do that. But anyhow, so you want to make sure it's heartfelt. You want to think about those people that, that aren't on that list per se that you're following that you might have wrote down or whatever. Okay, so think about those people, someone that you think they could really use you, they could really benefit from this, but maybe you haven't reached out to them lately, or you just want to reconnect. Think about that. Write those people down. Okay, so the next thing was invites. Now, these are the people that you've been talking to. You feel like you've warmed them. You feel like you're, enough's enough. Like it's time to send the invite and ask them, I've thought of you today because of whatever you want to say, connect it with them, make it personable for them. And we have an awesome accountability group where we do 30-minute workouts. You can, if you're a mom, then you can say, I like to say it's a bunch of moms, just trying to stay on track, helping each other, posting recipes, sharing meal prep tips, and just anything to help each other. And, are you currently doing a workout program? Because I think you would love this group because of X, Y, and Z. So that sort of thing. So you've talked to them and you feel like it's time to be bold and invite them. So I want you to have those 5 people wrote down. We're not going to do it right now just because I don't want to keep you guys all evening. You guys can do this when we get off the phone, unless you have questions or unless you need help or whatever. That's totally fine. So who are you ready to send the invite to? So write those 5 names down, or when we get off the phone, do that as well, or do that then. So the other thing too, you can do something that might help you guys with your posts. So I wanted to talk about posts because Jessica and I talked a little bit about this the other day, but our posts are so important, and people have to know where you're going or where you're going to take them. They have to know, and I want to talk about a couple things and then we'll go into that. So something I've been thinking about is if you do, and Lindsay did this with her team, and I thought it was interesting. She did like a brain map or road map or however you want to say it. So you know how like brainstorm basically. So you write a topic in the center. We all learned this in like grade school. And then you have little things coming off of that center topic that describe or words or emotions that come to you when you think about what is in the center of that circle. So like, let's say I wrote this out. So let's say you're going to promote for your sneak peek. Okay. You can't read that at all because that's totally chicken scratch. But so you're going to promote for your sneak peek. So you're going to have to be doing those call to action posts because again, people need to know where you're taking them. People need to know what we're doing and where we're going. And they need to know where you're going to how you're going to help them. So if you're promoting for your sneak peek, I want you to write, and we're not necessarily because we just ran one. And so we won't be promoting for one. We can still promote for one. We should still be promoting for one. But right now that's not maybe top on our list because we're not running one until the second week of April. However, maybe you're still wanting to get a couple people in your challenge group, okay? You still want to shoot for Success Club and you still want to help 2 more people this month. So you're going to write maybe your challenge group in the center. You're going to write accountability group or whatever. And off of that, what are the emotions that you think about? You think about, obviously, accountability. You think about positivity, encouragement, life changes within the group. I mean, what are the things that you think about that when you think about that? Write that, and those are things that you're going to be able to post and share about that thing. You've got to figure out if you're going to do call to actions, which you need to do them more than just in a call to action post. I know Teresa's on here and she might not know what that is because we say it all the time, like everybody knows, but basically it's just a way for you to post and share, and you've seen us do those. And it's basically a way for you to share an invitation online. Jersey? No. You're sharing an invitation online with your post. So you're putting a picture of you and you're talking about maybe the person you were before or however you're talking about your story. And then at the end, of the post, you're asking people to join you. So that's what that is in a nutshell. And there's ways to sort of create that post in a sense that it's laid out well, and so that people will follow you and follow the post well and keep up with the post instead of a long paragraph. What? Go with your dad because I'm on my call. What? I don't know where they are. Okay, I'll get them in a minute. Go up. No, go talk to dad about it. So think about that. That's something you can do to try to spark things that will help you to post and share, because you want to do several call to actions. If you're just doing one call to action to your challenge group, like once a week, that's not enough, because how many people saw that post? It depends on the time of day you posted it. It depends on how much attention it got, or whatever. So you've got to keep throwing it up. And Lindsay is going to go live in our team page, I think tomorrow, because she was going to do it today and it didn't work out. So I think she's going to do it tomorrow, and she's going to give you guys a few tips on that. But you want to promote in different ways each day. And if you're sharing something different about it, so you're going to talk about your challenge group, but you're going to talk about it in a different way, because before these groups, what was your life like? It was maybe a yo-yo roller coaster diet, whatever, where you were bouncing back and forth. You didn't have stability, you didn't have accountability, and that sort of thing. So find different ways to share about it, because there's a ton of different things. But if you're just sharing about it one time, it's just not going to get enough exposure. People aren't going to see it. So or if you're doing a sneak peek, put the sneak peek in the center and think about the emotions that come off of that. Like there's life-changing things come from coaching, opportunity, obviously, all those things that we think about, friendships, the list goes on, and you have to think about those things that are important to you, that you would feel like you would connect with somebody if they were posting it on Facebook. What would you connect with? So write your little map out and think about those things and come up with some posts. Here's another thing you can do too, is you can draw this little circle. See this before and after circle thing. So here's a circle, and then you split it down the middle, and then you can write out your before thing. So what were you like before Beachbody? What were you, what are the things that come to mind that you were maybe exhausted, you were out of shape, you were depressed. I mean, whatever it was, think about you before, because this is going to help you to come up with that post that you might be struggling with to share about. Because I swear the post that you really dig down deep and you post about the things that are maybe a little uncomfortable that you don't want to share about, those are the things that people connect with, because they don't connect with, yeehaw, I got my workout in and like everything's going great in my life, my eating's on track and my workout's done for the day and I'm on cloud nine. And they are excited to see you. A lot of times that does motivate people, don't get me wrong. You want to be energetic and you want to be happy and you want to be excited about what you're doing, but you also want to be able to share about what you maybe were before, but then obviously put an upspin on the end at the call to action post saying, this person now, this person today is this and this and this. And then you can go into a call to action because someone's going to relate to you, because someone is going to be feeling the same exact way that you felt in the before. So that's just a couple things that you can map out so you can figure out what you can sort of help them relate to and what you can bring to the table and show them what you're doing, and find different ways to post those things so that you can post some of those back to back call to action posts, which you might feel like are too in their face, or maybe I'm sharing about it too much, but really, again, they might not see it. It takes so many exposures for them to see it. They say like 11 to 12 exposures for someone to say yes to you. So if you're finding ways to share about it without just posting a picture of Shakeology or posting a picture of, your sweaty selfie with absolutely nothing really besides just saying that you finished your workout. If you can find those ways and think of those ways, which I think that will help you, that will just help, I think, to get some of those posts out there and give you guys ideas. Because I know sometimes I have trouble. I'm like, okay, what am I going to share about tonight? Because I just am not feeling real motivated tonight. I'm feeling exhausted. My brain's fried. What can I post about? So those are hopefully some good ideas that will help you to think about what's on your heart. And I always say that, but that's the best way to post. What is on your heart? Chances are someone is feeling the same way. If you're struggling with something, or if you're, something happened today and you turned it into something good or whatever, share about that. Okay, so you want to plan your work and work your plan, but again, follow your heart at the same time, and don't get so stuck on your list and what you need to do. Just keep sharing and doing what we always encourage you guys to do. So that's kind of that. The other thing I was going to have you guys do was, I said, have a picture and do a post tonight. If you haven't done a call to action post in a couple days, that's what I would recommend doing. because even though it's Monday night, people are still on Facebook every single night. I think night's the best time to post, just to get people to see it. So 8 to 9 o'clock is a great time. So figure out what you can share. I mean, are you wanting to get more people in your challenge group? Are you wanting to, is there something that you've recently overcame with your fitness or on your journey that you can share that maybe you could compare to something in the past that you would have struggled with, or you would have never gotten through, or something like that. You just got to think about what it is for you, because it's your story and you're the one sharing it. And people are going to connect with you if you just share it in a way that they can relate to it, and that they can understand where you're coming from and where you're going and why you're on this journey and why you maybe love it so much and what it's done. The other thing I was going to talk about was the posting. So we talked about this a little the other day. And I just want to, we can talk a little bit about this later, but I think the posting is so important, and it takes a little while sometimes to figure out exactly how to post. And some of those long posts, I feel like if you post this big long paragraph, they just get sort of lost in what you're saying. I feel like my internet's like acting up. Am I freezing up or just slow? Okay. My mouth's like slow as I'm talking. My mouth's not matching up. So you want to make sure, like, I like to start with a sentence that's going to grab their attention. Something that is like, whatever, like something that if you're posting a recipe, then what does this recipe say to you? Was it awesome? Was it, is it your Friday night, like, feast or whatever you do, and just post something that is a one-line attention grabber that's going to make them be like, okay, what are they talking about? What's she talking about? So then I go into the second part, and I want to just give a little, piece of my heart or information or whatever it is. And instead of just you want to do piece by piece. And I think this is just from what I've found and from watching other coaches, because you want to watch what some of the other coaches are doing, and you want to not necessarily replicate what they're doing, but do it similar sometimes to get ideas, and then use it, make it your own, of course. And then post something in that paragraph that tells about whatever that you're feeling, and then maybe go to the next one. But you want them all to relate, but you also want them all to not like get lost. You don't want people to get lost in what you're saying. So if I see a big paragraph like about this long above a post, and it's literally, there's like no breakup between it, I'm already a little bit like exhausted just by seeing that, because I don't want to read all that. That's why you need to find ways to break it up to keep them reading. So we were kind of talking about the delivery of your post and how important that is, because you don't want to lose people before they even see your post. You want to have something out there with a picture of you, and you want it to be something that they're not going to look at and immediately be like, I don't have the energy to read that right now because whatever. So work on that and try to just like, keep it simple, but don't be afraid to share again, like more of the information, because that's what you got to do. You got to put some information out there, but not like maybe overwhelm and add too much. I know that's like kind of broad, but so hopefully that helps you guys. But just sort of what was the other thing I was going to say about the posting? Maybe Jessica can help me.
It's really tempting, because we all find quotes that we love, or memes or whatever, that maybe have like a really cute or witty like saying on it, and those are great every once in a while, but honestly, people don't want to see they don't want to see that. They want to see you. So if you have like a quote or something that's like speaking to you, incorporate that in your post, and post a picture of yourself, or whatever, or your kids, or whatever, or your dog, or what you know what I mean, like whatever that post has to do with. But people would rather see a picture of you than those quotes. I just think people scroll right through those, and even a side by side, like honestly, people are going to look more like when you post pictures of your kids and you do like a side by side, I think people look at it, but like I just think that honestly, when it gets too busy, people are just moving on, and I'm not trying to be like rude or anything, because I mean, I'm just saying that I have spent like freaking 40 minutes on a stupid post, like editing the picture because it had a Bible verse in it that I really liked and I loved how it looked. And then I posted like a picture of my family, and like nobody, which people still saw it, and it probably reached a few people. It didn't, but like it just doesn't get traffic. And you
Yes.
want people to read what you're saying, because I don't know like how many of you guys have had a chance to watch any of the videos in the in the 7-day quick start, but we are adding, like, what are people getting from being in your network? Like, what kind of value are you adding to their day? That's why we're posting. That's why we're sharing. So try to think about that when you're posting. Like, what value are you adding to someone else's day? And you want people to see it and read it. So it's just so tempting, because I do it all the time. And, after so many times of Tabitha being like, lose this and don't do that and don't do that, around, like, you just kind of got to figure out that you got to keep it pretty simple, and you don't want it to be too busy.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think even just like Jessica said with the side-by-side, it's like you have a quote and then a thing, but when you see that, it shows up smaller because it's minimized, because it's trying to fit, Facebook is fitting both of those pictures in one thing, and they're side-by-side. And I understand that you want your picture and this quote because this quote is related to your post. But again, it's too busy, and I just don't think it works very well. So that's what I found. You've got to almost find it's sort of an art to it, even though it's not hard and you don't want to make it hard. But there is sort of a skill to just figuring out like what's going to work and what's going to, like, you want to be funny in some of your posts and just be funny. And it's maybe a workout post, but maybe something really funny happened, or you're like making light of something humorous or whatever. That sort of thing's okay too. So like she said, what value are you adding? Like, you can ask yourself after you do the post, like, you're not post it, but write it out and then ask yourself, what is this adding? What is this showing them? What value am I, displaying for them? And I think that helps a ton. The other thing you can do too, and I've been wanting to do, is sometimes on the Facebook like page, and I have this on my Facebook like page where I have a picture, and the cover photo is like, it tells, and I could pull it up, not that you guys necessarily need to see it, but I just want to show you because I need to do this for my personal page, but I haven't. But it's good. You want to have a profile picture of you. And you don't necessarily, in my opinion, if they see a quote as your Facebook profile picture, well, honey, okay, good night. I love you. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Yeah. I know. Okay. Go upstairs and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so here is so you want to show people who you are and what you're doing. And this is something I created a long time ago, and I'd like to do it for my, and it's not perfect because whatever photo thing I was using, I wish it would have like cut it off here, but it just so happens to work out because of the width of the thing. So I use Canva to create this. It's super easy. But anyway, so you want to like just show who are you, like what are you? When people get to your page, do they realize that you're health and fitness, or do they just see, Beachbody coach? And I do like my background, my cover photo right now, but I do need to improve it because there's not much to it right now. So this was the one I did for my like page. You can mess around with it, but I think it's fun to just change it up and post some pictures that, that would be, we can look at Lindsay's real quick. Not that you guys haven't seen her page before, but it just gives you guys some idea on what you can do to kind of just freshen up your page, because it is like your resume kind of, and what are people going to see when they get to your page? Are they going to come to you? Do they feel like you're somebody that, is having fun with it, that is, sort of working on being better? You're a coach, you're a wife, you're a mom, you're whatever you are. Do they see that when they go to your page? I think that's important, because when we're adding to our network, people are going to Facebook stalk your page. Like, we're adding 2 to 3 people a day sometimes. That's what my goal is, 2 to 3 people a day. And then if they're going to go to my Facebook page and they're going to look around, that's just what they're going to do. So I like how you can add the photos here too, to kind of let them see what it is. So anyways, I just want to throw that out there because I think it's important, and we've never really talked too much about it, but Canva is a really good app to use. You can do it I would do it on your computer. It seems to work the easiest for me, but there is an app on your phone. I just didn't get it to work super, super well. So anyways, that's something else. That's another tip just for you guys to mess around with to kind of improve your Facebook page. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Did anyone have anything that they wanted to say? I think our new coach training is going well. I'm excited. We're getting ready to work on the next series of videos. So that'll kind of dive more into, challenge packs and talking about points and talking about some of the more details as getting, your coaches started or whatever. The other thing really quick is I wanted to share, just because I'm hoping some of the coaches will watch the recording, but we need to make sure, if you're signing coaches, we need to make sure that we're sending the new coach emails to them. I need to upload mine in the team page so that you guys at least have it. And then you can upload it into into a Google document, and then you can change or alter, but you want to be able to send them some stuff to get them started, like welcome them to the team and send them stuff. And I know some of our newer coaches who are signing coaches, that's sort of hard sometimes to get all of that going, because it's not hard, but it's just like they have to get the document ready. So that's something else to think about, because you want to get your coaches started off right. That's why we're trying to get these new trainings in place. And you want to get your coaches, on the calls, your coaches on the calls as well. This is kind of a smaller call for us. Usually we have at least like 6 to 8 people, but it might've just been a busy night. And I don't know, maybe 8:30 works better for people. I don't really care. Okay. I don't really care. It's just that some people were saying 8 worked well. I felt like when I get off the phone now at 8 o'clock, I'm still going to have some evening left. Whereas if we don't start it till 8:30 and we run it till 9:30 or after, then it's almost 10 o'clock and my night is totally wiped away. That's why I prefer 8, but I'm good with 8:30 if that's what the majority is. I just feel like we need to pick a time and stay consistent with it, because it's obviously getting confusing, because like Jamie thought it was at 8:30 and I know Jessica did too, because we've went back and forth. So I totally understand why you guys would kind of not know, but I try to be like clear when I post it. But so maybe like we can talk about that. I don't care. So if 8:30 works better, that's fine, because I want to make sure we have as many people on the call, because if we're running these and they're not watching no one's being able to watch the recording, because I know how it is to try to watch a recording from a call, or not watch it, but even listen to it. Sometimes it's hard to fit that in. So I want to just make it just the easiest for everybody. Jess, for you, is it 8:30? Pretty much is better, or what?
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. It sucks no matter what. I have a husband. These kids are always screaming here.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Like, we need to take the consensus. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
That sounded mean. Not that it's.
No, I know. No, I know. But yeah, it's not like 30 minutes isn't a huge difference. But I know sometimes if you've got to like pick up kids, and I don't have to do that yet, I'm just home. And if I was running around, 8 o'clock's maybe a little tough to get on the call. So I just feel like we need to pick a time and stay consistent. So then there's no question about when it's going to be. So let's figure that out and decide. And we can take a poll kind of in the team page and see what everybody thinks, because I'm fine either way. So, okay. Did you guys have anything really quick that you wanted to say?
Hey, I have a customer who is interested in trying the shakes, but she has found that a lot of foods are making her sick right now, but she said she can't do any of the milk. Like soy milk, almond milk, regular milk don't work, and she doesn't like the shakes with water. Any suggestions?
Can she do coconut milk or cashew milk?
She said she can't do almond milk, so I'm assuming no cashew milk. It's the milk that makes her sick.
Jersey, come.
She said she's going to have she talked to her doctor. She's on thyroid medicine and just said her doctor increased thyroid meds today or Friday, and doesn't want her to change her diet yet until they figure out what's going on. And I'm like, well, if she's sick all the time, I'd want to change my diet. So
yeah. I don't know, because milk is, dairy milk is so much different than like almond milk. Like, it's not even this. I don't know. I know coconut milk works for some people. Can she do like no dairy, or like what if she used water and used like yogurt to make it creamy?
Because honestly, I swear, maybe it's just me, but I can tell absolutely no difference Like if I use water or milk, I can't tell a difference.
Oh, I can.
I used to never use milk, and
Oh,
now
I can't. You
I
just
will be back there in a second.
you just use water, right, Jess?
Not anymore. I use almond milk now all the time.
Oh, you do? Okay. Aaron uses milk, and I mean in his cafe latte, like real, like 2%. I don't know.
Mike won't use anything else.
Yeah.
But milk.
Yeah.
I use almond milk, a banana, and almost every day. I'm out of bananas right now. I have my almond milk, but I'm a texture person. I could not stand the Shakeology with water. I start gagging.
Well, like blend it up though with peanut
I
butter and
do.
banana and okay. Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Yeah, and
I don't
that's
know.
good though. I mean, but surely there's got to be a way like Greek yogurt or something would help make it creamy, I would think. But if she can't have milk though, Greek yogurt wouldn't work, huh?
Right, and she said that she told her doctor she just wants to be allergy tested and find out what she's really allergic.
I'm not
Is it an
sure.
allergy or is it, an
Right.
intolerance? And if she's on thyroid meds and they're increasing her thyroid
Right.
meds, like I'm a little worried about that. But
I don't know. That's a tough one, kind of.
but I wanted to give her some information with like 21 Day Fix, like the food categories, so that she could take with her to her doctor.
Yeah,
because that
that'd
seems
be
to be
good.
the roadblock right now.
I see. Well, shoot. Well, hopefully she can get that
So,
figured out.
I just thought I'd ask if anybody has any other
Yeah.
solutions.
Not that I can think of, but I think she could figure out something. Isn't there like dairy-free like milk? I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's like dairy-free milk, right?
Or
Yeah,
something.
something like that I think there's a
Okay.
few options out there that would work for her if that, I don't know. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. Anything else, guys? Because we can go and I'll post the recording so anyone can watch it. And I think that's it really pretty much. So, all right. Well, have a good night, guys. Thanks for getting on.
Night.
Bye. Good night.